Thanks to everyone who doesn't skip the ad, as this helps the channel. And don't forget to like, write a comment, and support the channel financially. Morning, afternoon, evening, dawn, 5 people each time. Having promised 20 people a day, Heavenly Demon should be able to gather enough dark magic energy. But there were 28 days left until the 9th round. And even if he lured and killed people for all 28 days, he could only dispose of 560 people. But it couldn't be helped. Ryu added, any more would be too risky, and an excessive meal would also be burdensome for Heavenly Demon, so they agreed to keep it at that level. Then Ryu asked himself what to do with the remaining 471 people. In fact, they were going to disappear in the next round anyway, but it would be better to strip them of items before killing them. So Ryu thought that he should take care of those that Heavenly Demon can't handle. With that thought, Ryu picked up his phone as he returned home. He was looking at the murder list sent by Yamti, deciding whom to kill when a familiar name caught his eye. And Ryu's eyes shone coldly, and he said, this person is... On the other hand, it's been 8 months since the world began to fall apart. Many things have happened in what could be considered a short time, and most of the people who were in their 20s, who were a large part of the economic activity, died, a natural consequence. Consequently, unmanned convenience stores and even unmanned cafes have increased explosively. SEO Arene and Hong Suna visited one of these unmanned cafes. Hong Suna said, here, Arin, a caramel macchiato with 2 extra shots, right? She said, yeah, thanks. She said, the world has really improved. Now we can go to unmanned cafes. CO Arin grinned and said, you sound like an 80-year-old, you know? Lately, there had been little to smile about, and just going out with a fellow actor to peacefully chat felt like happiness, given how much the world had changed. Hong Suna added, looking at it now, our main fan base has become the 30s, since most of the 20s have died. CO Arin said, suddenly bringing up such a depressing topic. In fact, CO Arin wished time and time again that the reality she faced was a lie, and that the survival game of killing and being killed was all just a dream. She said, even now, when I return from a round, I think, could all of this be just a dream? Would the fellow actors I was close with contact me again, smiling as before? CO Arin had always been sincere about acting. She loved her job and enjoyed the chemistry with fellow actors, and she was fortunate to meet Heavenly Demon and received support in various ways, leading to a successful career. A successful life, but that life was no more. As the atmosphere quickly darkened, Hong Sun-ah apologized. Sorry for bringing up something so gloomy, CO Arene said. It's okay. It's just how things are. She said, it's hard, isn't it? Want to start smoking? Maybe even smoke together? CO Arene squeezed a laugh at that joke and said, you make me laugh, she added. But we're better off, aren't we? We survived, because we're players. CO Arene said, that's true. Hong Sun-ah said, I'm still shocked about Gong Sr.'s death. Who would have thought he'd die in the first round? And a man at that, she said. Stats are equal. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. Hong Sun-ah added. Right. Even middle schoolers can exert the same strength as grown-ups, so it doesn't mean much. Now that I think about it, goblins are just trash, right? Hearing her fellow actor curse, CO Arin scolded her, saying, even if there are no people around, you must watch your language, she said. What does it matter? It's part of my charm, isn't it? The fans wouldn't know anyway. Hong Suna smirked, raising her nose. There was no one else around them in the unmanned cafe. And she said, there's also this advantage since there are no people. We can walk around without hiding our faces. CO Arin said, but our income has decreased. She said, that's true, but in this situation, is income really the problem? Survival is the top priority. She wasn't wrong. So CO Arin listened in silence and said to herself, what could be more important than survival in the current situation? Then Hong Sun-ah said, Arin, you're lucky. You have a good job for surviving. She inquired, you mean my summons? Hong Sun-ah replied, yes, I heard it's like a cheat job. Golems tank for you, fairies cast protective shields, and after level 20, fairies even help in combat. They jump in like slaves to do everything for you. I'm jealous, so jealous. CO Arin said, your job isn't bad either. She said, me? I'm just a bit stronger, but assassination turned out to be a common job. Invisibility is a skill, but it's useless. CO Arin asked, why? It can be used during combat, right? She replied. That's true, but it's not very useful in battle. One attack and it's gone. The cooldown is long too. It's basically for survival when in danger. Seo Arin said. That's good then. There's nothing as important as survival, Hong Sun-ah added. That's true, but in reality there aren't many dangerous situations, right? It's awkward to use. I'm not a stalker, and robbing a bank is useless nowadays because they've taken measures. And the cafe also has a sign that only card payments are allowed. Are they scared of players stealing cash? Seo Arin inquired. Suna, you're not seriously thinking about this, are you? She replied. You think I'm an idiot? Why would I make such a ridiculous thought? Anyway, you can't even distinguish between a joke and seriousness. Despite the scolding, Seo Arin just smiled warmly, and considering their friendship from working on several projects together, even this chit-chat was enjoyable. After all, she was the only actor friend who had survived. After that, led by the hand of a fellow actor, Seo Arin ended up in a club that was dark and gloomy, unlike the bright daylight outside. Though the thumping beats vibrated through the building, not a single dancer was in sight. Then she inquired, What on earth are we doing here? Why did we come to a club? Hong Sun-ah replied, Just stop whining and follow me. I'll introduce you to someone nice. Despite feeling uneasy, Seo Arin had no choice but to follow Hong Sun-ah. She thought it might just be a feeling, and if worst comes to worst, she could always leave, because she thought that she has the power to do so, as being a level 37 summoner gave her that confidence. Hong Sun-ah led her to a VVIP exclusive private room. Opening the door, a cloud of smoke made them squint their eyes. Hong Sun-ah said, Guys, I've brought her. One said, Eh? Who's this? Isn't that the famous Seo Arin? Another said, Wow, you really brought her? Wow, she's even prettier in person than on screen. Scattered liquor bottles and a messy table, and people lying around smoking. Others sprawled on the floor like drunkards. Isn't it said that people are left speechless when they are shocked? That was Seo Arin at that moment, and she said to herself, I came here following Suna, but I hadn't expected such chaos. But more bewildering than anything, aren't these all faces I know? In fact, all 6 people present were somewhat famous celebrities. At that moment, their eyes met with an actor who had just come out of the bathroom. Seo Arin said, Koo Yeon-sung Sr., he said. Aren't you Arin? I heard you were coming, but you really did. Behind, Hong Sun-ah smirked meaningfully and said, I told you I'd bring her, Senior Koo. He said, Bokchul would be thrilled if he knew, wouldn't he? Hong Sun-ah asked, Where is Bokchul? He replied, He said he was going to the toilet because he needed to take a shit. Standing dumbfounded, Seo Arin wondered what situation she had gotten herself into. Then Koo Yeon-sung said, Sit down. Now that you're here, let's have a drink at least. She said, No, I'm good. It might be dark inside, but it was clearly broad daylight outside, and yet they're suggesting a drink. Especially since she felt something was off, Seo Arin drew the line. Then she said, Sun-ah, have fun. Sorry, but I'll be leaving first. Hong Sun-ah said, Hey, where do you think you're going? Koo Yeon-sung also said, Come on, Arin. You've come all this way. Have a drink. Or would you prefer a joint? Seo Arin was taken aback, but quickly regained her composure and said, No, I don't smoke. He said, It's not tobacco. Or maybe you'd prefer wine. She said, I can't drink that either. Then Hong Sun-ah shouted, You fucking crazy bitch. Senior Koo is offering, you should at least pretend to drink, damn. Seo Arin doubted her ears for a moment and asked herself, What did she call me? Hong Sun-ah was always harsh with her words, but Seo Arin had never been directly insulted before. But now, Hong Sun-ah was different. It was as if revealing a true face, smirking at her. No, smirk is too pretty a word. It was a clear sneer. Hong Sun-ah shouted again, Fucking bitch. You're looking down on me just because I'm a bit nice, huh? Instead of responding, Seo Arin instinctively looked back. Players who had been crawling on the floor were now blocking the exit, having come to their senses. She asked, What are you trying to do? Hong Sun-ah said, Can't you see? We're keeping you from leaving. She inquired, Why are you doing this? Hong Sun-ah replied, Why? You ask. Everyone who comes here says the same thing. They don't realize they've fallen into a trap. Oh, is it because I'm such a killer of an actor? Now, it was clear from Hong Sun-ah's attitude. She was tricked. Then Seo Arin glanced at the actors around her. Malice could be felt in their expressions and eyes, and she said to herself, "They're all in on it." After that, Seo Arin's gaze naturally shifted to Ku Yon-sung. Among them, he was the eldest and a senior. If it was a trap, it was likely under his guidance. And sure enough, he laughed and said, "Miss Arin, looking at me like that won't help. You've probably realized by now that we're all in it together." At that moment, Seo Arin thought of a way to escape the crisis.